Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, Monday the 25th of June. Thanks again for watching and for coming along to WeatherWeb. As always, site's kept completely free of charge by you coming along and visiting. The more visitors we get, the more adverts you get shown, and it's that generates the revenue which keeps the site free of charge. Pretty simple really, isn't it? So thank you very much for visiting us again, and please do tell your friends. The site's growing so fast and we've got so many views now coming into the site. I'm really pleased, so thank you very much for that. Let me just show you the forecast rainfall for the next week. This takes us up to the 3rd of July. Forecast rainfall for the whole of Europe from the GFS model. The UK is underneath here. Now you can see we've got significant totals of rain to come into Western Scotland and Western Ireland, but although it looks wet across central and southern parts of the country, this is less rainfall than we've had over the last few weeks. These are totals of between 5 and 10 millimetres. So yes, still rainfall to come, but it's not as unsettled as it was. Still some very heavy rain going into Scandinavia and down through central parts of Europe. Generally drier in the Med, but even here, look, you can see not a great summer. Even here, heavy showers across Italy, heavy showers across northern Iberia, and also heavy showers coming across the northern parts of Africa as well. So it's not just us that's been affected by this rough weather, just about everywhere else in Europe has too, and it's all thanks to the southward position of the jet stream, which of course I spoke about in another video. So how do things shape up? Well, just before I show you those charts, let me just first of all show you a different chart. Where are we? This is the one that I want. This is from Ryan Maui's site. So this is the average predicted daytime temperature, or average predicted temperature, sorry, between now and the 3rd of July. And you can see how across most of the UK, northern parts of France, we've got near normal temperatures, yes, maybe a bit below. Warmer conditions or near normal conditions across many central and southern parts of Europe. But then if we take a look at the scene day, so this is running from the 3rd of July through to the 11th of July, again from Ryan Maui's site. Just look how much colder the UK goes than normal, and also how much colder it goes through central parts of Europe too. So some really cool weather seen by the model during the second week, running from next week through to the 11th of July. So this is something quite significant to see these cool conditions. And if you watch the other video, which is a couple of videos back, you'll have heard me talking about how when you look at the analogues, when you look at years that compare similar to this year, how many of them just had near normal temperatures or below normal temperatures, and it really is quite a few, and this is now being picked up by the model here as well. So of course you've got to bear in mind that that's still a good few days away. Things can change, but it seems to be that's the way things are going. So how do we shape up them in detail for the coming days? Well, these are the charts from the GFS Ensemble model going forward in 12-hour steps. This one valid for 12Z, which is 12 GMT, i.e. 1 PM today, the 25th of June. And you can notice how low pressure's out to the west of Ireland, low pressure to the east. We've got fronts moving their way northwards through the country, weakening as they do so. I think these bringing some outbreaks of rain through western Scotland, Ireland, western parts of Wales, southwest England through the course of Tuesday. But many central and eastern areas do tend to stay dry. Overnight into Wednesday, so we find some more persistent rain affecting Scotland, particularly the west. This is the start of that heavier rain we saw on that total rainfall chart I just showed you. But we've also got rain affecting northwest England, western parts of Wales and Ireland too. I think these western coasts generally are going to be quite drizzly with low cloud, just some murky conditions here. But we should find that across central and eastern areas it actually warms up. The sun will come out, and if you trace this isobar back, you can see that the air is originating down over northern parts of Africa. So temperatures are going to be picking up as we head into the middle of the week. Then for Thursday, so we find again low pressure out towards the west of the UK. I think some heavier bursts of rain developing through Thursday through Scotland, western England, western Wales. The reason for this is that this is cooler Atlantic air coming up against warmer air that's wafting in from North Africa, and as the two meet, so we get these heavy periods of rain. However, I think East Anglia, South East England probably faring better, and temperatures here into the mid-20s by Thursday. And then into Friday, well, the low is still there, look, dominating things across northern and western parts of Scotland. more rain for western areas, but dry out to the east. So temperatures probably cooler. I think mid to low 20s, upper teens typically, and we might just get a 22 or 23 in the southeast. But generally, it looks as if conditions cooler but nearer normal by the end of the week. Into Saturday, low pressure again north of Scotland. Outbreaks of rain or showers affecting western Scotland and Ireland. For many, though, it is going to be dry with sunny spells. Certainly a chance for this sodden ground to dry out across eastern Scotland, eastern England, central England and southern England as well. Just one or two showers affecting the west of Wales. For the start of July, for Sunday, low pressure again to the north of Scotland. Some spots of rain for northern and western Scotland, or some showers, but brighter down towards the south and the west. Some good sunny spells coming through. Into Monday, a front will just track its way eastwards. I think this brings cloudier skies to Scotland, Wales, Ireland, western parts of England, some bits and pieces of rain there, and perhaps one or two outbreaks of rain making it across to eastern England too. But with this flow coming back to the west, I do think eastern England probably fares best of all. And then into Tuesday, well, this westerly flow starting to pick up. Look, a ridge of high pressure building in from the Atlantic, and it looks as if that takes us into the beginning of July. So I think we're going to see a north-south split through the country during that early part of July. What we need to watch for, though, is low pressure areas just tracking their way across northern Scotland, bringing more unsettled conditions in there from time to time. But for many, it looks as if we are going to enter a spell of drier, more settled weather with some good spells of sunshine across southern parts of the UK. Temperatures near normal, but up towards the north probably more unsettled with some outbreaks of rain in the west of Scotland. And this really is the pattern that we should be seeing at this time of year. Now, if you've been watching, you'll have heard me talk about, I thought that there would be unsettled weather coming through around the 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere between the 3rd and the 10th of July, a deep area of low pressure. It's not showing on the charts at the moment, but I'm not ruling it out completely. But I'm just wondering if that deep low is actually hiding. Is it actually coming a couple of days earlier? So in effect, is it actually this feature that's off northern Scotland? Is this the feature coming through a couple of days early? That's what I'm going to be watching now for the next few days, just to see how that thing develops. Although I've still got this question mark over the 3rd to the 10th of July. And a quick update for you on the Longrange. This was the CFS chart that I showed you yesterday for July. Now, it goes to show here how model runs can change from day to day. Yesterday I was showing you how wet weather was across the country during next week, which again seems to be the case with significant rainfall totals across northern and western parts of the country, but drier towards the south and the east. Heading on to week 3 into the middle of the month, we were looking at dry conditions starting to build in, but today's run of the CFS brings it back to wetter conditions, although I think it's probably overplayed this. I think the south of the country probably dry, with Scotland being wetter than normal. And then heading into the 3rd week, well, it's showing drier weather again across the south, but not completely dry on today's run. But I do think this dry weather is going to be in, so I do think the southern parts of the country are still likely to be drier during that week, and I still believe yesterday's run more than today's. And even by the end of the month, look, bits and pieces of rain in the south, but essentially becoming drier for most. And again, I do think I'd still stick to the forecast that I gave you yesterday, which is that the second half of the month certainly would be better than the first half of the month, with many of us becoming drier and also warmer as well. So hopefully that's been useful for you. Thanks again for watching, and as I said at the beginning, the sites get free by the adverts you see, so the more times you visit the site, the more adverts we can display. That generates revenue, and it means we can keep the site free of charge. So once again, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.